Hey everybody, today we're talking to Ramogi Nyagudi, a Canadian Adventist who played his first collegiate season for a Division One school in Minnesota. But before we get to that, I want to tell you about Tristan and Tyler Broughton. These twins played for Division One San Diego State University, where they were a part of multiple NCAA tournaments, including the national championship game in 2023. When it was time for their graduate program, they chose La Sierra University and the Zapara School of Business. And they got to play basketball for La Sierra while they were at it. They've since graduated with a master's in sports management, and they have nothing but good things to say about La Sierra. Tristan admitted that it's easy to be so involved in the now with basketball that it can delay planning for the future, but he said that the business school's direct involvement in he and his brother's academic journeys and future plans provided some much needed accountability. He said that's not something you're going to get at any big school out there. He also knew that when he graduated, the school would continue to be there to support him and his brother. If you're interested in following in the footsteps of Tristan and Tyler Broughton, check out La Sierra's Zapara School of Business at lasierra.edu/schools/business. Hey everybody, welcome to the Adventist Hoops podcast. Today I have a collegiate player who is a 6'8 forward for the University of Manitoba. He played Division I basketball in the United States as well in Minnesota, and that is Ramogi Nyagudi. Ramogi, welcome to the Adventist Hoops podcast.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here. Really appreciate it.
So why don't you just tell people a little bit about yourself, where you're from and when you started playing basketball?
All right. So I was born in Minnesota, Minneapolis, Minnesota. We lived there for about, say, 10 years. Then I moved. Me and my family, we moved to Canada. We moved to Canada when I was around 11. And then like 2-3 years after that, I started playing basketball. And when I started, I was not good. I was not good.
What age did you start playing?
I want to say I started at around 12, 11. I originally was a football player. I wanted to play football because of my uncles. But then my parents saw me continue to grow. And now I'm actually 6'9" now. We actually remeasured myself.
6'9".
Yeah. We remeasured me a couple of weeks ago.
Wow.
And I grew an inch over the last year.
Oh,
so
my goodness.
Yeah, so since I kept growing, my dad would push me to basketball. And
What position did you play in football?
Football, I was a wide receiver.
Okay. I mean,
Yeah.
it's good. It's good to have height as a receiver, so that
Yeah,
makes
but
sense
the
why
knees.
you had success there. So when you sort of started to focus more on basketball, how were you growing as a basketball player? I mean, what kind of development or training or how did you get better?
I would say for me, it was a lot of discipline and dedication. Like I wanted to play at the highest level, and I still have the dreams to play at a higher level after college. And I had this list of things right by my bedside. I need to put it back up because as I said, I'm still trying to move back in. But I had a list of things that I needed to check off with my journey. And on the bottom of it, it said things that I needed to do to stay uh, and to continue to have a good relationship with God as I do those things. So it was looking at that in the morning was a way of me being disciplined, staying disciplined to be able to go and do the things that I need to do. And like I would go early in the morning. COVID times, I was up at 5 a.m. running in the snow in winter in Winnipeg, Manitoba. And for those who know, it's really cold over here. And then I'll do ladder work, and then I'll shovel the driveway, and I'll start dribbling outside at like 7 a.m. Thank God my neighbors didn't complain, but yeah, dedication.
So you're just working on your game right there at home.
Exactly. Yep. That's
You
all I
didn't
did.
so you didn't have any like trainers. You weren't trying to find different gyms to go to.
No, not really. I mean, obviously, when you look at how guys get to be in those high places, you see all these guys going and get a bunch of trainers and stuff.
Yeah.
But me personally, I didn't really have that. But I did have this one coach that has helped me throughout my whole career. His name's Dan Becker, and he lives like right across from me. So every time he asked me, "You need to get in the gym, you need to get some shots up," he would tell me what to do. So he was really a good mentor for me.
So, in some ways, you grew in your game right there at home, just shooting in the driveway. What do you think of, and with some help along the way from other people, but what do you think of sort of the culture, the basketball culture today of like training? I mean, trainers are all over social media. People think
Hmm.
like, man, I if I'm gonna like even play for my school, I have to be paying for a personal trainer. I got to be on all sorts of club teams. Like, what's your opinion about that?
My opinion on that is that it's good to have all those things, but if you're not actually playing and doing it, then it's not gonna help you. Because I could go to this trainer and put up all these reps, all these empty reps, and another guy who's just working on specific short things, like say your form, say your handle, those type of things, they're gonna be better than the kid that is just going to training sessions and just playing around, messing around. And I'm not saying all training sessions are like that. I'm just saying that most of them that I see are like that.
Yeah.
So,
Well, it is funny because man, there's a lot of creative trainers out there that really push you to do something. But sometimes I'm watching some of these clips and I'm like, how is this practical at all
translating the
for an
game,
actual game?
yeah,
You know?
yeah,
So
exactly.
one thing I've been learning recently from Chris Oliver, Basketball Immersion. He's Canadian. He is. I'm taking his course, and it's just all about like realistic situations. Like, don't do as you're saying, like empty reps. Like, try to do hardly anything just on air. Like, try to do stuff that makes you think, and ideally with other players. So, anyway, that's
Hmm.
just interesting. Division 1 player here, and for the most part, developed your game in the driveway. I, of course, other things
Yeah.
aided to your game too, but but it sounds like that was a key component. Just working on stuff at home by yourself.
Hmm.
Yeah. So as you get into high school as a sophomore, your high school team won a provincial championship. Um, you won tournament MVP, player of the year in the province that year. What was what was that experience like for you?
So the year that you're talking about, that was my junior year.
Oh,
My
okay. I'm sorry.
sophomore year, I was top three in the province,
Okay.
and I was also ranked in Canada by some website. I don't know if it's legit or not, but uh, yeah, like that for like sophomore year was a very hard one because I missed the finals because it was on Saturday,
Oh, okay.
and I, I've really been battling with it. When I was younger, I was battling with it, and even now to this day, I still battle with it. Even though I'm a little bit higher level, and like there's certain things that I have to go to do in order to play. But when I was younger, my I talked to my dad for a long time about it, and he was like, "Yeah, you are gonna be, you're gonna show maturity and and devotion to what you believe in by doing this." And then that week I posted that I was not going to play, and then there was this whole thread of people saying free Ramogi, talking about you should religion should not stop you from playing. And I think that was one of the most powerful things that I've done
Hmm.
in the city or in this province alone, because I mean, there's so many things I've done. I've won championships. I've competed with Team Canada when I was U18. But I think that was the biggest thing, showing that even as a kid, like you have the mentality to say, okay, like my God is more important than this.
Hmm. Wow.
God is bigger than this.
So, was there any discussion? Did your school attempt to appeal the structure for the provincial playoffs, or was it one?
Hmm.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, my coach was really on that. Shout out my coach, Coach Lepang. He really tried uh, as hard as he can from the start of the year, because he knew that we were going to be able to get to the championship. So
Yeah.
from the start of the year, he was trying to get the committee to move the game, but they didn't end up moving the game.
And has that ever come up again, or is that? Because
Then
that
next
has
year
come
they
up.
changed it to Monday.
Oh, okay.
The next year they changed it to Monday, and it's been that way since then, actually.
Wow. So you changed how the province handles the championship. That's amazing. That's really cool. I mean, like you said, I mean that kind of a witness is something that speaks to so many people, and literally they changed the day for you. That's come up a lot in the U.S. as well, but I think it's a little, it's not just like one person. It's well, this school, this Adventist Academy, made it to the championship. You're gonna hold this back from like this whole school, like it's not like they can just sit a player out. They're all not going to play. You're taking it away from the whole school. But the fact that
Yeah,
they took that in consideration for you, and so I think I might have had my year. I was trying to piece together your bio from different places. So I think I had the years flipped maybe because
yeah,
so then you didn't get to play in the first provincial championship game, but you did the
hmm,
next year.
yeah.
You guys went back to back, and so you were a junior for that second one.
That second one, I was a junior. Yes.
Okay, okay. Wow. And so what was that experience like, going all the way and getting sort of redemption? You were a part of the championship team, but being able to actually play, what was
Yeah,
that like?
man. Like, cause this year it was. I'm not gonna say it was my team, but there was a lot of emphasis around me with the team, and I was sort of a leader, even though I wasn't the oldest. So it was really cool going all the way and being able to be in that gym for the first time because this was like the first year after COVID where everyone was able to come to the gym. And I don't think that gym has ever been that packed ever since. I've asked people around and they said that was the most packed that that gym has ever been. And the team that we played against, Sturgeon Heights, we lost to them earlier in the year at home. We lost to them twice, actually. The second game I couldn't play because it was on Friday night. Um, but we lost to them twice. And we went into that game thinking that yeah we're gonna have to bring out everything possible, and we were losing most of the game until halftime when we start hitting a couple shots, and then uh, what happened after that? We're hitting a couple shots. The ball is finally going into the hoop, and then I got this dunk. I posted someone with like 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and after that, the game was
They
over.
had no
Like the game,
chance. They were
they had no
demoralized.
chance. It was done. So
So
yeah, I
that
was
was
just surreal.
2023,
Yes,
right?
2023.
Okay, okay. Wow. So you get back-to-back championships. At some point, you'll have to fill in the timeline here. You, as you mentioned, you got selected to the national team for Canada, U17, and was that the year following that
That was
season?
the year after
Okay,
U18. Yes,
okay. What was that experience like?
man. Like I was a part of the Team Canada training camp for 3 years straight, and every single year I was one of the young ones because they do 2 years, so they do '06 and '05. So I was one of the youngest ones, and there were not a lot of '06s the first time I
What do you
went.
mean by that? Oh six and oh 05.
So people born in 2006
Oh,
and people born in 2005,
okay.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
So
Yes, yes.
those guys were selected to play for what was that U16, I think.
Okay.
And I went there and I almost got in. I was like, they're ready to sign the papers and everything just to get ready to go to Mexico, I believe. And I got cut that day. And I got cut not because I couldn't play, not because I was not good enough, but because they needed me on Saturday. And like, at that level of that like global level, like you need to be available for everything. So there was like one, I think, final game that was on Saturday, and since that was the case, that I couldn't, I didn't make the team. And that day, I think that day was one of the most heart wrenching days of my life. I cried that day because I really put in a lot of effort. I was tired. Everything was sore from that training camp, and I was gonna make it, but I was not able to play, and that was very rough for me. But my second year, I was just the guys are just too big. They're just too big for me.
And that was
Third year,
U19?
that was U19. Yeah,
Yeah.
those guys are just way too big for me, and I wasn't developed enough. And then U18 came around, and this was actually going to be my year this year. And we went into training camp, and in training camp, like I came in with the same mentality as I had before, that I want to compete and I want to win. And I got selected for that team that year. And by God's grace, we got a bronze medal. So
Wow.
I'm very, very happy that I got to experience that.
Can you pan the camera, just the cell phone camera, up to show your jersey there on the wall? Show
Yeah.
everybody. Show everybody that right there. There it is. There it is. Amazing. Amazing. Well, I want to go back to the first year when you got cut. You just said a few minutes ago there's been ups and downs when it comes to your view of the not your view of the Sabbath, but just like decisions that have to be made. Was that a moment where you were like, man, I am right here? It's literally has nothing to do with me. You know, it's this belief that I have. I mean, was that a low moment for you in regards to your commitment to keeping the Sabbath, or?
Almost definitely that was a low moment for me. I thought that I thought that things were not fair for me. And I sort of had a moment of resentment towards it.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't even thinking about it as this is the Sabbath. I gotta enjoy the Sabbath. Some days I was like dreading it.
Mm.
And then once I sat back and realized that I was dreading it, I was I thought, and I was like, yeah, this is I need to do some soul searching on this, because the Sabbath is supposed to be a day of rest, the day that I'm supposed to be happy,
Yeah.
not sad that I'm not playing. So
What do you think would have happened if you would have, said, you know what, forget it. I'm gonna play this year, even if I have to play on Sabbath. What do you think would happen?
I don't think I would have been ready. I don't think I would have been able to play. Um, and the reason why I say that is because I was still very raw, very young, and I don't think I would have gotten as many minutes as I would have, because I would have been like the 11th man off the bench. And since those guys were way older than me and way more developed, they've been all across the country, they've been across the world. Me, I've only been to Winnipeg and Minneapolis. I haven't even played AAU yet. So it was, I don't think I was ready. And I think that's why God made it in such a way to keep me from being exposed over there,
Yeah.
because that environment is a different environment.
Mm. What do you think would have happened if you, on any of these years, would have said, "I'm going to play on Sabbath"? Like, this is such a great opportunity with the national team. Like, how do you think it would have made you feel?
I mean, my last year when I played for Team Canada for U18, I did play on the Sabbath,
Mm.
and um, I have been since I left my prep school, because I got invited to be. I was selected as an All Canadian, and that was my first ever time playing on Sabbath. It felt very weird. It felt I didn't like. I wasn't even thinking about the game anymore. I was just thinking about the fact that I was playing on the Sabbath,
Mm.
and like it's been a journey, and it's been very like weird to understand it, because it's like, okay, one day I'm playing, and then the next I'm in church, and it's like it's kind of confusing, and still trying to be able to find a good balance. But the problem is, at the end of the day, with this profession that I'm trying to pursue, you have to be available on Saturday.
Mm.
And one thing that I've decided to do, as even though I'm a 7 day event practicing 7 day Adventist, one thing I've decided to do is to make sure that, like, even with the playing, I make that whole 24 hours from sunset to sunset as holy as possible.
Mm.
Everything that I'm doing, everything that I speak, everything I say, within those 24 hours, I make sure that it's all pointed towards God.
Mm.
and I'm not doing it for anybody else. I'm not doing it for myself. I'm not doing it for the next person in the stand. I'm doing it for him, and that's what I made sure that I am able to tell and show other people.
Mm.
So,
Well, it's interesting for lifelong Seventh day Adventists like ourselves. I think you were born into a Seventh day Adventist home, right?
mhm.
We, because that's so ingrained into us every 7 days on Saturday, I don't know about you, but like I just look at the world differently. Like actually physically the world, like I'm not thinking about all the things outside of, I'm noticing the trees. I'm noticing like things that I don't
Yeah,
notice during the
yeah,
week. And so I think that that is not going to, that upbringing is not, you're not going to like forget about the Sabbath, I'm guessing.
oh no,
Just, because of all of the, like even if you do have to play on a Saturday, it still is going to feel like a different day to you. To your point about, if as you were first starting playing on the Sabbath, it was weird because you're like, it's Sabbath, and I think
yeah,
that's something for, especially for lifelong Adventists. If you've only been keeping the Sabbath for a few years, maybe it's a habit that is like easy to like regress away from, but lifelong Adventists, that thing is ingrained into our souls. I think
exactly.
I think yeah. uh I saw a photo of you with an NBA Academy jersey on.
hmm
So what? Tell us about that.
So this is with Team Canada a little bit.
Okay.
The GM, his name is Mike Meeks. He selected, I think, what was it, eight Canadian athletes my age to be able to go to Montreal and play in the North America or the Americas. Um, what is it called? NBA Academy. And when I got there, it was a little like I've never been to Montreal before that, and that was my first time ever being in Montreal. Montreal is a beautiful city. Um, but when I got in there, they gave us a bunch of gear. They did a bunch of height, like all the
Like
I
combine stuff.
think yeah, all those kind of stuff. And then we started playing, and I was seeing all these guys from different countries. Seeing a guy from Brazil that was what 7'2". I was like, whoa, this is ridiculous. And it was just a really cool like moment to be in that NBA academy and to be able to see players like Lou Dort, who is from Montreal, be able to come there and just support us and give us tips.
Do you have any idea? When you said Lou Dort, that made me think. I feel like I have heard that there's an Adventist connection. I don't know if his family is Adventist or if it's like a cousin or something. You never heard of that?
I've never heard of that. No.
I remember someone making a comment at one of the Adventist Hoops posts on Instagram saying something about a Dort. And anyway, I just figured I'd ask if you knew that. But
Yeah, that's very interesting.
yeah, now that's gonna bug me. I'm gonna have to go check it, see what that comment was. Now, throughout your high school career, what is your recruiting process like? I mean, what is who is talking to you, and what are some of the considerations that you're making as you're thinking about playing at the next level?
It was definitely up and down my recruiting process. Because again, I'm from a small city in Canada. They at that time they didn't really recruit out of Canada, especially if you're playing high school in Canada. But I kept sending out film on my Twitter account. I had coaches talking about me, and I got interest and offers from Oregon, Maryland, and then I got interest from what is it called, St. Thomas. And since my dad actually
Minnesota.
went to St. Thomas, I looked at it a little bit deeper, went on the visit. It's been at home. It's always been my dream to play at home. Even though it was not University of Minnesota, I still was very glad that I was able to get that offer. And I went to go and play at home for a year. So I was truly blessed with that.
Did you have any family that still lived in Minnesota there,
Oh,
or
all my family lives there. All my family and friends.
yeah? So what was it like? I mean, what was the transition for you going from high school to college? What were some of the challenges of playing at that level?
Everyone's just better. Like everyone's just better, bigger, stronger. better IQ. Like these guys know the game so much better, especially with the team that I went to. Like they know how to play 5-on-5 basketball. There's no 1-on-1 with the team that with St. Thomas. It's all 5-on-5 basketball. They all share the ball, and they make sure they get the easiest bucket possible. And yeah, that was a really hard learning curve for me trying to be able to play in that environment, especially with the fact that they moved me position wise. They played me as a five. I'm not really a five. I'm more of a wing, and it was a really tough challenge for me to be able to try and transition from being the guy at my prep school, at my high school, playing at the wing, bringing the ball up all the time, doing all that, to going now to playing the five position back to the basket, where I've never, like, at that point in time, I never worked on my game in that sense. But realistically speaking, when I talked to my mom about that, when I transferred, it's like God really put you in that situation so you can be able to learn how to play this position. So now you can
And
be able
stay
to play anywhere.
possible. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well,
So
yeah. I mean, I mean, and you got to defend in the post against some guys that are big and strong, and
yeah.
that must have been tough. In preparing for this conversation, I listened, and I don't even know where you said this, but I remember you saying that you had some low moments that season, and you also like had some thoughts about maybe even like quitting basketball. Is that right?
hmm Yes, that is correct. It was a very low moment. That year, I will never forget that year of my basketball career. That was probably the most humbling year of my life because I was coming in as a high school recruit. I was coming in thinking I was going to like start on the team. For me, from that point to starting the season, and I'm on the end of the bench with my warm up still on. And looking back at it, I laugh because I was so upset. Every single game, I was so upset. And when we were up by like 30, I was still sitting on the bench. I'm like, Coach, just put me in, please. Just do something. Um, but now I look back at it, I can laugh and say that, yeah, like I've really seen everything with the basketball. I've been six man off the bench. I've been a starter. I've been the main point guard. I've been a wing. I've been a big, and I've sat on the end of the bench with the ATs. Like I've really experienced everything with this basketball stuff. And right now, with my year coming up, I'm being saying to they're saying that I'm gonna have a big year. Realistically speaking, I'm looking at it as like I'm just here to develop and I'm here to win. Exactly what I said before. I just want to play and win, and I'm getting that opportunity here.
So you come back home. You're at University of Manitoba, um, and how excited are you? Well, for actually, and if you don't mind, would you kind of, because I don't know that much about Canadian university basketball. So are there different levels of Canadian university ball, or is it just kind of more provincial, regional? I don't know.
You know what? I'm not really sure. All I know is that there's youth sport and then there's like different like regions. So
Okay.
the region that I'm in is called Can West.
Okay.
So all of Western Canada, all the teams in Western Canada, we play in that conference.
Is there an opportunity
And
for a national championship playing the other regions?
yes, there is
Okay.
the youth sport national
And U
championship,
Sport is like the NCAA of Canada. Is that right?
Canada. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay. Okay. So you're coming back into this environment and into your hometown there. You're at home. You mentioned it right here doing this interview in your room there. How excited are you to get on the court with maybe some guys that you played against in high school, some guys that you've had some experience with coming back home?
Man, I've been excited since the day I signed. Like, I can't wait to get on the floor and play. I've been a year out of playing, and now I get the opportunity to actually start doing something. I'm so excited.
So
I'm
you
really
took a year
excited.
off?
Well, I mean, that last year I didn't really play
Oh, I
much,
see what
so
you're
I
saying. Yeah.
consider it like I didn't really play
Yeah.
at all.
And
So
eligibility between the NCAA and U Sport doesn't transfer, right? So you have a full set of years for eligibility for U Sport, and you have 3 more years of NCAA eligibility.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
Are you? Is your goal to potentially? I know you probably don't want to like think ahead. Just like let's focus on this
Hmm.
season. But like, would you
Yeah.
like to be able to get back into NCAA?
I'm definitely looking at going back to NCAA next year. Um, but yeah, as you said, this year is the main focus, the
That's good.
main goal right now.
That's good. Would you ever? We have 8 Adventist universities in the U.S. that play, and 5 of them play NAIA basketball. 3 play in other associations, I guess. Would you ever play for an Adventist university? Let's say you have like 1 more year of eligibility. You've already done everything you're going to do, NCAA. You go to maybe a graduate program at one of our Adventist universities. Would you ever play just for the community, for the sake of
Oh yeah,
the
most
Adventist community?
definitely.
All
Yeah,
right.
I would definitely do that for
All
sure.
right. Well, I know some of our coaches listen, so just write the name down right now, Ramogi, and he's open to talking about it in the future here. Um, Ramogi, have a few more questions for you here. Thank you for opening up and just sharing a little bit about your journey with our audience. I think people are really thankful for you for sharing your heart and being transparent. What advice do you have for Adventist youth that are hoopers that are wanting to try to be able to play at a high level and just navigating all of the stuff that you've been through over the last few years? What advice do you have for Adventist young people?
I can put it into 2 sentences. Don't give up and trust God. Those are the 2 things that, for me, has brought me this far. Um, and is gonna bring me further because I know God has great plans for me. Jeremiah 29:11. So when I'm talking to Adventist kids that are trying to do the same thing I'm doing, like just trust in God and keep pushing and keep working. Don't ever give up because again, regardless of Adventist or not, there's always going to be ups and downs in the road. For you as an Adventist athlete, it's going to be a little bit harder because of the fact that the world is so different from what your religion follows. But just keep pushing, keep doing all of that, and God will lead the rest. God will lead the rest.
Beautiful. Well said. Last question, which I try to end a lot of our conversations with. Sometimes I forget, but it's kind of a big question. But in general, what does basketball mean to you?
I would say basketball is close to everything to me. Like I've met so many people through basketball. I've seen so many places. I've been to South America, I've been to Europe, I've been all over the states. I've been through everywhere in Canada. Like this sport has brought me everywhere. And it's made me see so many things. And I I don't know what I would do without the sport. Yeah, so I would say it's almost everything to me.
Well, Ramogi, I'm just so pleased to be able to meet you and just excited to keep following your progress. I know others out there when this comes out will be looking forward to following you and seeing your progress as well. And we're cheering for you. We're rooting you on, and just appreciate you being on the Adventist Hoops podcast.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I appreciate the time.